Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for hilarious segments gone wrong on live telly.
That'll be all over the internet now, and all over the carpet.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Hypnotised by a dog, loose women. Back in 2015, the UK was enamoured with this pair of Britain's Got Talent contestants, Christina and Princess the so-called Hypno dog.
I'm going to give them a helping hand. Sleep. Sleep.
They rose to fame on BGT, putting Ant and Dec under their spell, before moving on to Andrea McLean and Nadia Sawalha during a bizarre recording of Loose Women. But people were quick to call the thing a complete farce, refusing to believe that Andrea and Nadia weren't faking it.
I tell you what I'm about to say, it's a bit strange, but I can't actually go like that! Down with Dec, Sherlock!
Andrea was made to say that dogs and humans deserve equal rights, while Nadia did her best impression of Janet Street Porter, which turned out to barely be an impression at all. We didn't believe it for a minute.
I think that's worked. Christina, this is getting too out of control now. Christina, could you snap them out of it, please?
I don't know, Jeff. Soccer Saturday.
We're off to Fratton Park, where there's been a red card, but for who, Chris Kamara?
I don't know, Jeff, has there? I must have missed that.
If you're presenting live football for Sky, you should probably be watching the match. This wasn't Chris Kamara's fault by any means, as he was moved away from the pitch because of the rain and missed Anthony van den Boer getting sent off.
What has happened there? What's happened, Chris?
I don't know, Jeff.
It then turned out that Kamara had seen him go off, but thought he was just being subbed. It remains a highlight of Kamara's long career as both a footballer and commentator, despite the fact that it undeniably went wrong. Who knew that a Portsmouth-Blackburn tie would lead to such a legendary Premier League moment?
No, you're right, I saw him go off, but I thought they were bringing a sub on, Jeff.
Fire alarm, Lorraine.
I'm sorry about all of this going on. You were evicted last night and now they're trying to evict you again.
I know, from the building. This is awkward.
A fire alarm is the last thing you want to hear at 9 o'clock in the morning, and perhaps that's why Lorraine Kelly did her best to ignore it while the show was still going out live. She was trying to interview Stephanie Nala about her recent ejection from the X Factor when the alarm started going, but stayed sitting in her chair while the alarm and evacuation message blared.
So, Stephanie, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling okay. I feel like really lucky to get where I got.
Eventually though, producers found out that it wasn't a drill, and they did, in fact, have to leave the building.
They're telling me now that we do actually have to evacuate, would you believe? I'm not quite sure what's going on, guys. I'm really sorry about this. It's live television, anything can happen.
But while it wasn't a scheduled drill, it was luckily a false alarm. Less than 15 minutes later, ITV was back on the air, with Lorraine apologising on Twitter. Not that she needed to. Madonna falls down. The Brit Awards. The star had a wardrobe malfunction for the ages at the 2015 Brit Awards when her cape was pulled too tight and she couldn't undo it in time. It was meant to be pulled off backwards, revealing the costume underneath, but this didn't happen. Instead, the cape and Madonna were wrenched back, and she took a tumble down the stairs.
Took me to heaven, let me fall.
Remarkably, she carried on, though she did grapple with the cape for a while. Some people actually thought this was a stunt too, though she said it definitely wasn't.
Madonna did it deliberately. That's what I heard it on the radio.
It's not the only time someone has fallen over on an award show either, as Gemma Collins fell through the stage at the Radio 1 Teen Awards. Blue Monday, Top of the Pops. While a lot of artists didn't mind the miming inherent to Top of the Pops, there were many who rebelled against it, and some who were big enough to force the BBC to let them play live. New Order was one such group who arrived to promote their monumental hit Blue Monday, which remains one of the 1980s most defining songs.
How does it feel when you treat me like you do?
But New Order had only just managed to work out how to perform Blue Monday live, since it was entirely reliant on synthesizers.
I thought I was mistaken, and I thought I'd heard you speak.
As such, the performance went wrong in every possible way, with many of the synths being out of time, coming in too early, or not coming in at all. Gemini, Eurovision Song Contest. More music. In 2003, the UK was represented by duo Gemini, performing their single Cry Baby to a very unenthused audience.
Love's not enough. I need your trust, but you don't try anymore.
While the UK has had many appalling Eurovision entries, including some more recent ones, this one really sticks out.
Bye bye, baby. Lie to me, baby. Must have been crazy, baby. Bye bye.
Like New Order, Gemini were plagued with technical issues and ended up performing their song out of key because the backing track was wrong. Technical problems would affect the UK in 2023 too, as many regarded Mae Muller's performance as being marred by volume errors.
When you said you were leaving, to work on your mental health.
Though we're not sure these songs would have pulled in the points, even if they went as planned.
You're living a lie. You won't say goodbye. Just keep me hanging on.
Allison Hammond nearly gets arrested this morning.
Oh my gosh, we haven't got a permit. Listen guys, we're in Pisa, we're not allowed to film here, but listen, there's a great competition.
She jetted off to Italy just to promote a £300,000 cash prize this morning was giving away, filming next to one of the country's most iconic landmarks, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But who knew that taking a camera to the tower put you on the wrong side of the law? Clearly the producers didn't do their research. That, or they just couldn't be bothered to apply for the appropriate filming permit.
I'm gonna get arrested. I love you loads. Lighters! I'm so sorry. Buongiorno, please.
Whatever the reason, Allison nearly found herself arrested by a very angry Italian police officer who moved her along and tried to stop the show.
Are you okay?
I'm actually shaking. Not really, but if we just turn round and see the policeman.
She later reappeared on the link and was able to finish the plug for the competition after they did get the permit. Guy Gormer, BBC News. Perhaps the most disastrous part of this incident was that, at the end of the day, Guy Gormer didn't even get the job he turned up at the Beeb to interview for.
So what does this all mean for the industry and the growth of music online? Well, Guy Cuny is the editor of the technology website News Wireless.
In a now legendary moment, unwitting visitor Guy Gormer was brought onto the BBC News studio to answer questions about a court case between Apple computers and the Beatles' Apple Core.
I'm very surprised to see this verdict to come on me, because I was not expecting that.
Credit to him, he blagged it superbly, and it took a while for the error to be noticed when he didn't immediately fess up. And, as said, he was not hired for the job he actually went in for. Maybe they didn't appreciate him going along with the lie on live TV.
A big surprise anyway.
A big surprise.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Finger food. Saturday kitchen. The last thing you want to happen on a cooking show is an injury, but that's sometimes inevitable, even with the most experienced chefs in the world.
No, you haven't cut yourself.
I'm fine, we'll just crack on through. It didn't happen. Are we? Oh, yes, okay.
I can see.
We've just...
Misfortune struck Donald this Saturday as he sliced his finger open while doing the simple task of chopping parsley, something we're sure he's done 1,000 times before.
I haven't normally presented television with a towel around my hand, but today... Is it? We're fine. Julian, will you stop being so dramatic?
Ever the professional, he barely reacted to the incident, although he did wrap his hand in a tea towel and enlist Jury and Clary's help in finishing the dish. He even went back into the studio and closed out the show, before finally seeking medical treatment.
Poor thing.
Don't worry.
Are you feeling faint?
I may need you to carry me down to the studio in a minute, but we should be fine. We should be fine. Right? I am okay.
Guide pony, this morning.
How on earth does this work? How can a pony do the job of a guide dog?
Are you sick of seeing guide dogs everywhere? Probably not. But on the off chance, how about a guide pony? One woman believed in this concept of guide ponies so wholeheartedly that she brought them onto this morning. It's true that ponies and horses can be trained very effectively, but we don't think guide ponies are going to take off. Not in the least because one of them, Monet, made a mess on the studio rug.
So I'm sure a person who had impaired sight would find that extremely useful on the kitchen rug.
It was a heartwarming story about therapy animals aiding with someone's recovery, but that wasn't the bit that everybody remembered from the interview. The mess came right when we were being told how good the ponies are at being house-trained too.
A guide dog is unlikely to poo on the kitchen floor.
A horse has...
Are they house trained? Can they be house trained or horse trained?
Horses can be trained.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect timing.
Which live TV moments did we forget? Let us know in the comments below.
Chris, have you not been watching? I haven't. I don't know where that's come from, Chris. I have no idea what has happened there. What?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.